All right, everyone get ready, because today we are taking a deep dive into cybersecurity.
Oh, I'm excited.
And, this is something that I feel like we all hear about every day.
Mm.
We hear about attacks and data breaches and, phishing and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
But you sent over this amazing course from the Open University Introduction to Cybersecurity.
Yeah,
Stay safe online.
it's so good.
And I really wanted to go through this with you
Yeah, me too.
and just kind of like break down, what are the key things that people need to know to stay safe?
Well, and what I think is so great about this course is that it really emphasizes, it's not just about the technology.
Yeah.
It's about the people using the technology.
Totally. It's like you can have all the best software and everything, but if you click that one bad link,
You're done.
you're toast, it's all over.
That's it.
So, I mean, that's kind of like the first thing that the course really emphasizes.
Right. And they talk about the threat landscape. They use that phrase.
Oh, yeah, it sounds kind of scary.
It is kind of scary, but it's important to know what's out there.
Absolutely.
Like they talk about, you mentioned phishing and malware, and they actually highlight some real world examples.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the SolarWinds attack.
Oh, gosh, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it affected so many companies and even government agencies. It was massive.
And they got in like through, like a little back door in the software or something.
Yeah, it was like a supply chain attack where they compromised the software that tons of organizations were using.
Wow.
So, it just shows how sophisticated these attacks are becoming.
It's scary stuff. And it's not just, governments and corporations. It's individuals, too.
Right. Everyone's a target.
Everyone's a target. We all have data,
Exactly.
and it's valuable, so we have to protect it.
That's why this deep dive is so important, to really equip people with the knowledge they need to stay safe.
Yeah, to not just understand the threats, but what we can do to protect ourselves.
Right. Exactly.
And they start with something that seems like really basic, passwords.
Oh.
But I know before reading this, I was not the best at, having good passwords.
I think a lot of people struggle with that.
I would just try to remember all these random combinations, and it was a nightmare.
Oh, I've been there.
But they really delve into the importance of strong passwords, and they even talk about things like using passphrases, which I had never really thought about before, but it makes so much sense.
Passphrases are great. Instead of trying to remember some random string of characters, you take a sentence and kind of mash it together.
Oh, that's smart.
It's easier to remember, and it's actually more secure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then, they also talk about password managers.
Oh my gosh, yes, they are a game changer.
Seriously, life-changing.
Especially if you use one that generates really strong passwords for you.
Right, because who can come up with all those crazy combinations?
Right, not me. I can't even remember my grocery list.
Exactly. And some password managers even monitor for breaches, so they'll tell you if any of your credentials have been compromised.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
It's like having a little security guard for your passwords.
Totally. And then there's two-factor authentication.
Oh, yes. I've seen that,
Yeah.
but I don't always use it.
Yeah, I understand. It can be a little extra step.
But the course really stresses how important it is.
It is. That extra code you get sent to your phone or email.
Right. It's like an extra layer of protection.
Exactly. It can really make the difference between someone getting into your account or not.
So strong passwords, two-factor authentication, those are like our first line of defense.
Like our digital bodyguards.
Yeah, our bodyguards. But then the course takes us deeper into the world of malware.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets a little scary.
I know. Malware just sounds so ominous.
It is. And it's more than just viruses these days.
What else is there?
You've got worms that can spread through networks, Trojans that disguise themselves as harmless programs.
Oh, God.
And then there's ransomware, which can lock you out of your own files.
Until you pay a ransom? I know. That's terrifying.
It is. And it's becoming more and more common.
So how do we protect ourselves from this stuff?
Well, first of all, awareness is key.
Okay.
The course talks about phishing as a common way for malware to spread.
Like those emails that try to trick you into clicking a bad link.
Exactly. And they can look so real these days.
So, how do we even spot them?
Be vigilant. Don't click on links from unknown senders. Double-check website URLs before you enter any information.
Hover over the link and see if it actually goes where it says it goes.
Exactly. And be wary of any unsolicited emails asking for personal details.
It's like being a detective almost.
It is. You got to be on the lookout for those red flags.
And thankfully, we do have tools to help us fight back, right?
We do. Antivirus software is essential.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. But how does it actually work?
It's basically like a security system for your computer. It scans for malicious code and tries to quarantine it before it can do any damage.
Wow, so it's like a little antivirus army fighting off those bad guys.
Pretty much. And the course even talks about different types of antivirus software and how they work. It's pretty fascinating.
I'm starting to realize how much I don't know about all
Well,
this.
it's a lot to take in, but it's important stuff.
It is, and it feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, we've got a lot more to cover.
Okay, well, I'm ready. Let's keep going.
All right, let's dive in.
So we've got our digital bodyguards at the door,
Our password managers and two-factor authentication.
right, and our antivirus army patrolling the computer.
Keeping those malware bad guys at bay.
But then there's the whole network itself.
Ah, yes, the internet, the vast digital highway.
And honestly, I don't really understand how it all works.
Well, the course actually helps to demystify it a bit.
Oh, good, because to me it's like a big black box.
I know, it can feel that way.
Data just magically goes from one place to another.
But it's important to understand the basics, especially when it comes to security.
So, like, how does it actually work?
Well, they explain how data travels between networks,
Yeah.
especially wireless networks like public Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, I use that all the time.
And they highlight how data sent over public Wi-Fi could be intercepted.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, someone nearby could potentially snoop on your activity.
That's kind of creepy.
It is, and that's where encryption comes in.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that, but I'm not really sure what it is.
Well, imagine sending a postcard where anyone can read the message.
Oh.
That's like sending data unencrypted.
So anyone could just read it.
Potentially, yeah.
It's not good.
But encryption is like putting that message in a sealed envelope.
So no one can see it.
Only the recipient with the key can open it.
That makes sense. So encryption basically scrambles the data.
Exactly. It makes it unreadable to anyone who doesn't have the key.
So that's how we keep our information safe when we're using public Wi-Fi.
It's one of the ways, yes.
Wow, encryption is pretty amazing.
It is. It's a powerful tool for protecting our privacy.
So we've covered the threats, strong passwords, malware, and even how networks and encryption work.
We're making progress.
I'm feeling a bit more informed already. How about you?
Definitely. But there's still so much more to explore.
Right, well, let's not stop now. Lead the way.
Okay, let's delve into the fascinating world of cryptography next. Okay, so we've talked about encryption a bit.
Like how it scrambles data to keep it safe.
Right, and the course really digs deeper into the world of cryptography, like how it's everywhere in our digital lives.
I never really thought about it like that, but you're right.
Think about it like when you're shopping online or checking your bank account.
Oh, yeah.
Cryptography is working behind the scenes to protect your information.
It's like our invisible guardian.
Exactly, and the course explains different techniques like public key cryptography.
Ooh, that one always sounded so complicated.
It is kind of a mind bender, but the way they explain it makes it much easier to understand.
So how does it work again?
Think of it like a mailbox with two slots.
Okay, I'm visualizing it.
One slot, the public key is open for anyone to drop a message in. But,
Anyone can put something in.
right, but to retrieve those messages, you need a special key that only you have.
The private key.
Exactly, it's like a secret code that unlocks the mailbox.
Ah, that makes sense.
So even if someone intercepts the message along the way, they can't read it without the private key.
It's pretty clever.
And then there are digital signatures, which the course mentions.
They're like electronic fingerprints. Right?
Exactly. They verify the authenticity of a message.
So you know for sure it came from the sender you think it did.
Exactly. And that it hasn't been tampered with along the way.
So it's like a seal of authenticity.
Exactly. But the course also points out that even with all this amazing technology,
Even encryption has its limitations.
right, it's not a foolproof solution. They talk about things like government backdoors.
Oh, I remember reading about that. It's like a way for law enforcement to bypass encryption.
Right. It raises all sorts of questions about privacy and security.
Yeah, like where do we draw the line between national security and individual rights?
It's a complex issue and a debate that's likely to continue.
Definitely something to think about. Okay, so we've talked about protecting ourselves with strong passwords, malware, and encryption.
But what about protecting entire networks?
The course mentions firewalls and VPNs.
Yes. Those are essential for network security.
It feels like a whole other level of protection.
It is. Think of firewalls like the first line of defense for a network.
Like a gatekeeper?
Exactly. They control incoming and outgoing traffic, blocking anything suspicious.
So they're like the bouncers of the internet.
Pretty much. And the course gives some helpful tips on configuring a personal firewall, which is something everyone should do.
That's good to know. And what about VPNs? I've heard of them, but I don't really understand how they work.
Well, imagine you're using a public Wi-Fi network at a coffee shop or something.
I do that all the time.
Your data is being transmitted over that network, and potentially anyone could intercept it.
That's unsettling.
But a VPN creates a secure, encrypted connection, so your data is protected.
So it's like a tunnel for my data.
Exactly, a private tunnel that only you have access to.
So even on public Wi-Fi, my information is safe.
Much safer, yes. It's like having your own private network connection.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
But are there any downsides to using a VPN?
It's important to choose a reputable provider because some may log your browsing activity or have weaker encryption.
So you have to be careful who you trust.
Exactly. Do your research and choose a provider that you feel comfortable with.
Okay, good advice. And what about intrusion detection systems? That sounds pretty intense.
They are like security cameras for your network, constantly monitoring traffic for anything suspicious.
So they're like the watchdogs of the internet.
Exactly. They can detect malware spreading or hackers trying to break in.
But what happens if they detect something?
They can alert administrators or even block the threat automatically.
It's like having a cybersecurity team working 24/7.
Pretty much. But the course reminds us that even with all these layers of protection,
Things can still go wrong.
no system is foolproof and breaches can happen.
So what happens then?
Well, the course talks about the consequences of security breaches from identity theft to data loss.
That's scary stuff.
It is, but the more we understand the threats, the better prepared we can be.
Knowledge is power. Right?
Exactly. And the course offers some helpful guidance on what to do if your defenses fail.
So it's not just about prevention, it's also about knowing how to respond.
Exactly. They stress the importance of having a plan in place for dealing with different types of incidents.
Like if your computer gets infected with malware or if your operating system crashes.
Right, and they emphasize the importance of data backups.
Oh yeah, those are essential. I've learned that the hard way before.
It's like an insurance policy for your digital life.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. Regularly backing up your important files can save you a lot of headaches.
So we've talked about protecting ourselves and our networks, but the course also goes beyond that.
Right. It delves into the broader concept of risk management in cybersecurity.
So it's not just about having the right tools, it's about having the right mindset.
Exactly. It's about understanding the risks and implementing appropriate security measures.
So it's a more holistic approach.
Exactly. And the course highlights how cybersecurity is not just a technical issue.
Oh, right. It also has legal and ethical dimensions.
Absolutely. Laws and regulations are constantly evolving to try and keep pace with technology.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It is, but it's important to be aware of the legal landscape as well.
So cybersecurity is a multifaceted issue.
Very much so. It involves technology, law, ethics, and human behavior.
It's fascinating and a little overwhelming.
It can be, but I think the key takeaway is that we all have a role to play in cybersecurity.
We can't just rely on technology to protect us.
We have to be informed and proactive.
Keep learning because the threat landscape is always changing.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is a continuous journey, not a destination.
It's amazing how much ground we've covered, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
But, through all these layers of protection and all this technology, one thing that keeps coming back to me from this course is the human element.
It's so important.
We can have the best security systems in the world,
Right.
but if we make one wrong click,
It can all be undone.
it's all over.
Yeah, the course really drives that point home.
Like, it reminds me of that time I almost fell for a phishing scam.
Oh, no.
The email looked so real.
Uh-huh.
It even said it was from my bank.
I've been there.
And it said my account had been compromised and I needed to act fast.
They prey on that urgency,
And that-
fear.
And I almost clicked the link.
It's easy to get caught up in the moment.
But then I remembered some of the red flags the course talked about.
Oh, good.
And I stopped and double-checked with my bank directly.
That's exactly what you should do.
It's like having that cybersecurity awareness.
Being vigilant.
It really can make all the difference.
It's our best defense.
And it's not just about spotting those phishing emails,
Right.
It's understanding the consequences of everything we do online.
Every click, every download,
Everything.
it all leaves a trace.
It's like that analogy the course uses.
Uh-huh.
A chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
And in cybersecurity, that weakest link is often human error.
It's true.
It's those simple things like using weak passwords or not updating our software.
Like leaving a window open in your house.
Exactly. You're just asking for trouble.
But the good news is we can all take steps to strengthen that human element.
We can.
So what can we do?
Well, first and foremost, Stay informed.
Okay.
The threat landscape is constantly changing. New scams and techniques are popping up all the time.
So how do we keep up?
There are a lot of great resources out there, cybersecurity blogs,
Oh, yeah,
podcasts.
like this deep dive.
Exactly.
You're a resource.
And don't underestimate the power of common sense.
Oh, that's a good one.
If something seems too good to be true online, it probably is.
That's a good rule of thumb for life in general, I think.
I agree.
So be wary of those unsolicited offers, those links from unknown senders.
Oh. And any requests for personal information that seem fishy.
It's like our parents used to tell us, don't talk to strangers.
It applies online, too.
It really does.
And remember those strong passwords we talked about?
Oh, yeah,
Still crucial.
absolutely.
Using a password manager can really help with that.
Oh, yeah, it takes all the pressure off.
And two-factor authentication whenever it's offered.
No brainer.
It really adds that extra layer of protection.
Okay, so strong passwords, two-factor authentication, stay informed, use common sense.
What else? Don't forget about software updates.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
everything up to date. Those updates often contain security patches.
It's like patching those holes in our digital walls.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
Back up your data.
Oh, yes, backups. Can't forget those.
Regularly back up your important files. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later.
It's like insurance for our digital lives.
That's a great way to put it.
And be mindful of what you share online.
That's important too.
The more information we put out there,
The greater the risk of it being misused
loose lips sink ships.
or loose click sync data.
I like that.
And if you do encounter something suspicious, don't hesitate to report it.
Like a phishing email or a scam.
Report it to your email provider, your bank, even the authorities.
They all have ways to handle these things.
And if you're ever unsure about something, don't be afraid to ask for help.
There are a lot of resources out there.
There are, and you can always consult a trusted IT professional or a cybersecurity expert.
Okay, so stay informed, use common sense, strong passwords, two-factor authentication, software updates, data backups, be mindful of what we share, report anything suspicious, and ask for help if we need it.
That's a great summary.
Well, I think we've reached the end of our cybersecurity deep dive.
We've covered a lot of ground.
It's been quite a journey,
It has.
but I hope everyone listening feels more empowered to navigate the digital world safely.
I hope so too.
And remember, cybersecurity is a continuous process.
It is.
It's not a one-time fix.
We have to stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep learning.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring this important topic with you.
Likewise.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into something fascinating.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone, stay safe out there.